Hi everybody, Dr. Joe here, and I am going to answer the question about whether ice baths are actually effective and we should use them. This is in reference to a specific study that came out recently, and it has a conclusion that a lot of people should be aware of. Ice baths have grown in popularity over the last few years, and now you're seeing places pop up where you can actually go in and get an ice bath for a fee. Obviously, you can invest, you can do it at home. But again, the question is, what do these ice baths do? And I'm going to be honest with you that a lot of the data out there currently is pretty conflicting. Some says benefit, some says no benefit. But this is starting to be a little bit more consistent. And this is a conclusion that says the current data suggests that application of cold water immersion is directly after an exercise is actually going to attenuate or reduce your hypertrophic changes. I know it's a very sciencey lingo, but the short version is that ice baths actually are going to reduce your ability to build muscle if you do them directly after training. So that begs the question about whether ice baths are not beneficial or whether it's just a problem of directly after training. I will say I think the research is strong enough to say after training, no way. And the longer stuff, whether you do it a few hours later, whether you do it when you're dealing with periods of high soreness, is a question we're still trying to answer. But what I would suggest to you is if you are going to use it, certainly put it a few hours away from training, but don't let it replace anything else. I had another PT once tell me they were talking to a client and they were talking about all the different things they were doing and red light therapy and ice baths and all of these things together. And he came back at him with, so you're recovering from recovering. Make sure if you're using cold water immersion, if you're using red light therapy, whatever you're using, that you are not using it at the sacrifice of the stuff that we know works. What do we know works? We know strength training works. We know proprioceptive and control training works. We know that sleeping is important for recovery and performance. We know that nutrition is important for recovery and performance. 95, 98, 99% of your focus should be on training, nutrition, and sleep. You can fill in some of the gaps with this other stuff, but a lot of times you'll find it doesn't have the benefits that people claim it does right away, and that's why it ends up being a fad and fades after a while, and certain things always remain. Eat, sleep, train, stick with the basics, and keep chasing your